Skunkworks is a risk-tolerant place, and being risk-tolerant, we're encouraged to find unique solutions. There's a tolerance for failure. If you have an opportunity to fail, you have an opportunity to learn. Being able to create an environment like that, you're able to go a leap ahead or a couple leaps ahead in technology because you're encouraged to look beyond the next thing.
Look at various aspects of the product: speed, altitude, flow observables, weight, the space inside it, and you manipulate how much of one you get and what it costs you in something else. And you're constantly turning those dials until you find what you think is a magical solution.
Magic does happen in our design teams, on our projects. It's unexpected sometimes.
It's very rewarding. I mean, there's no greater feeling than seeing what you've worked so hard to develop out there in the flesh. A disruptive technology enables leaps and bounds over what's been done. You're solving very complicated problems that are highly constrained. You have to come up with very innovative solutions in order to do that.
There could be ways in which we could mimic evolutionary behavior in the way aircraft operate, in particular unmanned systems that have a lot of autonomous capability. And if we can embed capabilities for those aircraft to actually learn from what they're experiencing from one mission to another, we can enrich how those aircraft can operate, how efficiently they can operate as time goes on. So robotics are at the heart and soul of unmanned aircraft.
Airplanes are to a point where they can pass information onto each other, and they're really getting to the point where they operate as teams, even without pilots.
So the path forward is with a collaborative system of aircraft. Some might be manned, some might be unmanned.
Design is where the right brain and the left brain meet each other. As a designer, we're influenced by everything, but what better element to pull from than something that's evolved over time? Birds have shorter wingspans now today because they need to be more aerodynamic to not be hit by cars. That's something that's happened in the last 100 years.
I think that the lines between evolution and revolution, particularly in our industry, are pretty important.
So we're still using engineering. Why do all these laws? What was the innovation that no one expected?
We didn't know much about things that were technologies, computer systems, and some other things. But we started with the memories and hard disks that were more accessible and tried to recover the data stored in them. Maybe it resembles what our students did after the conquest of the American spider, when the U.S. Embassy was captured in the early years of the Revolution, and the students recovered the shredded secret papers.
اطلاعات رو یه جوری بازیابی کنن. از خب با چند تا تفاوت اصلی دیگه اینجا ما حتی جنس اطلاعات هم نمیدونستیم که حتی دنبال چی داریم میگردیم و خدمت شما عرض کنم اونجا فقط به هم ریختگی اطلاعات داشتیم ولی اینجا بحث کدینگ و رمز رو داشتیم ما. فضل خدا واقعا شامل حال ما شد.
The data we extracted at the first phase of decoding the drone included video footage that you see as an example on the screen that is from Pakistan.
و تصاویر فراتیفی که عزیزان همکاران رو داریم. این مال پاکستان. و حجم زیادی از این اطلاعات.
The reader speaks. All of its information was recovered. The expert. Yes, we decoded the 2 hard disks completely. One of the generals speaks. A part of the information was about its missions and the other part was about its flight management. Then the expert explains about its computers. Anyway.
شناخته میشه کامپیوتر محموله ویژه و کامپیوتر ارتباطات لینگ‌های ماهواره‌ای بوده و این کامپیوتر کاملا خاص منظور است برای همین موضوع طراحی شده.
The general says, these are the drone's flight paths in 13 missions. It collected information from Afghanistan and Pakistan and we recovered all the information. The expert. The general decided that we start reverse engineering the drone's hardware simultaneously with decoding it. And we defined a project of making an Iranian RQ-170. To achieve this goal, we defined an initial project of making a smaller and simpler drone. That is ready now, and its final tests will be performed after this show. But the main project of making an Iranian RQ-170 is still going on, and the Iranian drone will be able to do depth reconnaissance operations as well as combat operations. The general says, our targeted product is to be mainly a bomber. Americans used it for reconnaissance operations, but we want to modify it as a bomber to be used against battleships and aircraft carriers. Given its stealth system, the drone is suitable to be used against warships. A smaller model, 15% of the size, we have built and tested successfully last week. Inshallah, we will test a 40% size model and then a full-size model by the end of this year. A Zelzal missile is equal to 36 Zelzal rockets, economically and operationally. Our next missile program was named Persian Gulf, which, in a previous occasion, we tested it hitting targets with an accuracy of 35 meters. You said we can reach an accuracy of 15 meters, so almost 6 months later, we developed the missile.
اگر در برابر این قرار بگیرن راه خروج ندارن دشمن یا مورد اصابت قرار بگیره.
And we designed and successfully hit a sample target in the Gulf of Oman. The target size is 1/3 of our actual targets, which are aircraft carriers. In fact, our targets, the Americans, cannot escape our missiles. The enemy either should be hit by our missile or they have to be far from the region. We designed the Rainfall Zelzal missile to be used whenever we want to hit a runway, in airports, or the enemy's equipment deployed on the ground. Rainfall Zelzal is equipped with 30 bombs with a 17-kilometer range and will spread the bombs before we hit the ground. Then there's an explanation about another missile system. Anyway, this missile system's range is 50 kilometers and 25,000 meters out, and can trace and target fighter jets, bombers, and cruise missiles in this range. This system's advantage compared to similar systems is that all of its requirements are collected in a single deal. Its search radar, trace radar, missiles, and scouts are all in a single vehicle. Its technology can be compared to the Russian S-300 missile system. Only its range is currently 50 kilometers, but it will be increased to 100 kilometers and then 200 kilometers in future versions.